Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha Shri Saraswatye Namaha Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Atha Gita Dhyanam Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Grathitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitamrutavarshini Bhagavati Ashtadashaadhyayini Ambatvam Bhagavad-gīte Bhavadveshini Namostute Vyasa Vishala Buddhe Pullaravinda Yatapatra Netra Yena Tvaya Bharata Taila Purnaha Prajwalito Jnana Maya Pradipaha Prapanna Parijataya Totrave Traikapanai Jnanamudraya Krishnaya Gitamrutaduhe Namaha Sarvopanishado Gao Dogdha Gopalanandanaha Partho Vatsas Sudhir Bhokta Dugdam Gitamrutam Mahat Vasudeva Sutan Devam Kausachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Bhishmadrona Tata Jayadrata Jala Gandhara Nilotpala Shalyagrahavati Krupena Vahani Karnena Velakula Ashwathama Vikarna Ghora Makara Duryodhana Vartini Sottirna Khalu Pandavai Rananadi Kaivartaka Keshavaha Parasharya Vachas Saroja Mamalam Gitartha Gandhotkatam Nana Kyanaka Kesaram Harikatha Sambodhana Bodhitam Loke Sajjana Shatpadairaharaha Pepiyamanam Muda Bhuyad Bharata Pankajam Kalimala Pradvansina Shreyase Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langhayate Girim Yat Krupatamaham Vande Paramananda Madhavam Yau Brahma Varunendra Rudra Maruta Stunvanti Divyaistavai Vedai Sangha Padakramopanishadai Gayantiyam Samagaha Dhyanavastita Tadgatena Manasa Pashyantiyam Yogino Yasyantam Navidussura Suraganaha Devaya Tasmai Namaha Devaya Tasmai Namaha Shantakaram Bhujagashayinam Padmanabham Suresham Vishwadharam Gaganasadrusham Meghavarnam Shubhangam Lakshmi Kantam Kamalanayanam Yogi Birdhyanagamyam Vande Vishnum Bhavabhayaharam Sarvalokaikanaatham Sarvalokaikanaatham.
Namaste. Doctor, do you want to share or can I continue sharing? Doctor, you're on mute.
Do you see my screen or no?
We see that we see some share device audio on.
Okay, so where to go from here? Any idea? I thought I was sharing it, but it looks like it's not showing the screen. I opened up the presentation. Does anyone know? If not, then I have to ask you to do it.
Maybe stop sharing and try again, Dr. Raju.
Okay. So what should I do? Screen, photos?
So you have only one monitor, right?
Yeah, only one monitor. Yeah.
Share entire desktop, Dr. Ji.
Okay. That's what I did, but it's not working. So Suresh Ji, you go ahead then.
Can everyone see it?
Yes.
Okay. Namaste, everyone. So this is session number 19 and chapter 17, Shraddha Traya Vibhaga Yoga. Right, and we'll hear Dr. G's shedding the light on Shraddha. It's a very beautiful, lot of beautiful verses. So this is the opening contemplation. Faith. The very core of every human is that unshakable faith. It can move mountains. Whatever their true nature is, their faith reflects it. And when that faith issues out in action, it shows up as one of three kinds. Sattvic, the pure kind, no expectations. Rajasic, the desirous kind, expecting good. Tamasic, the faithless kind, opposed to everything that is in the scriptures.
Thank you. Namaste. Can you hear me okay? Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Shri Matre Namaha. Gomatre Namaha. Gita Matre Namaha. Shri Krishna Parabrahmane Namaha. Sabhayai Namaha. Saluting Ganesh Maharaj, Mata Saraswati, all the Gurus and Guru Parampara, Gita Mata, Veda Mata, and Gita Acharya. Thank you for being here. Let us revel in the 17th chapter, which is called Shraddha Traya Vibhaga Yoga. Shraddha. We'll talk a little bit about Shraddha. Traya, three types. So three types of Shraddha. Vibhaga, division. Yoga, union. And we have seen that in Jnana Shatka, the chapters are so analytical, and the rishis named these as Kshetra, Kshetrajna Vibhaga Yoga, Gunatraya Vibhaga Yoga, Daivasura Sampat Vibhaga Yoga, and Shraddha Traya Vibhaga Yoga. So we'll see the next verse. As we have briefly talked, the next slide, that after 15th chapter, the Gurus have called these subsequent chapters as Parishishta Adhyayas. Parishishta Adhyayas are the more like an addendum or glossary, the teacher himself taking liberty and freedom to explain the things which have not been covered fully, or some of the things which were not mentioned before, but still have relevance to the teachings of the past, previous chapters. So that has been mentioned in these three chapters, 16, 17, and 18, before the 18th chapter is concluded. Now, Shraddha. Swami Chinmayananda defines Shraddha as the faith, which is loosely translated into English. There is no equivalent word for Shraddha. Similarly for yoga and similarly for dharma. Faith is the belief which is packed with knowledge. And the knowledge which is imparted has also its effect according to the source and our reverence to that source. How much of belief, trust, the gut feeling we have to those who teach us or those who reveal it to us. So Shankaracharya defines Shraddha as Guru Vakyeshu, Shastra Vakyeshu, pragadha vishwasaha shraddha. And not only that, what is this shraddha? With which yaya vastu upalabhyate. So, sa shraddha kathitha, sa kathitha shraddha. Yena, by which vastu upalabhyate. What you are seeking is attained. So, shraddha is that pragadha vishwasa. Pragadha vishwasa is belief packed with knowledge. In Guru Vakya, who is the Guru? Gukaraha, Andhakaraha, Rukaraha, Tan Nirodhakaha. The one who can take away our ignorance is Guru. Shastra, as we have talked about, Shastra in the 15th chapter, Shasanath and Shamsanath, the one which ordains and the one which also reveals. So Shasate and Trayate, the one not only while revealing and ordaining, it protects us also. So that is Shastra. So in these two, that Pragadha Vishwasa is Shraddha. So Sa Shraddha Kathitha Sadbihi. Sadbihi by Satpurushas. This is defined as Shraddha. Yaya Vastu Upalabhyate. Yaya Vastu Upalabhyate, by which Vastu. What is Vastu? Nitya Vastu Vivekaha, we say. So, Vastu, that fact, the truth about what is eternal and what is ephemeral. So, what is ephemeral and what is eternal? Nitya, Anitya, Vastu Vivekaha. So, that is Shraddha. And is it the opposite of knowledge? No, it is actually strengthened by knowledge and strengthened by proper reasoning. Proper reasoning, we have to keep that in mind. The next one, Rabindranath Tagore defines Shraddha, the great poet, Nobel laureate. Faith is the bird that feels the light and sings when the dawn is still dark. Faith, you have to contemplate like this. It's compared to a bird that feels the light and sings, not only feels, but expresses. So experiences and expresses. Not when it is obvious, when it is oblivious, when the dawn is still dark. And similarly, in effect, the people who change our lives the most, there are many people who influence us, but the gurus are the ones who change our lives the most. They begin to sing to us. Like Gita Acharya, the one who sang Gita for us, while we are still in darkness. So if we listen to their song, we will see the dawning of a new part of ourselves. Tagore. Next one. This 17th chapter begins with a question from Arjuna, because the 16th chapter ended with Ye Shastra Vidhim Usrujya Vartate Kamakarataha Nasa Siddhim Avapnoti Na Sukham Na Param Gatim. And before that, Tasmat Shastram Pramanam Te Karya Vyavasthitau Nyatva Shastra Vidhanoktam Karma Kartum Iharhasi. The importance of Shastra has been emphasized by Radha Krishna in the do's and don'ts. And the one who does not follow the Shastra for his or her own selfish desire or the secondary gain, there is a secondary motive. So that drives other than what is taught in Shastra. So there are people, many of us fall into this category actually, but they are the ones who actually do a good to the society by doing so also. There is some goodness in it. There is some badness in it, and there is some ugliness in it. So the good, bad, and ugly, as we see. So They do not know or they do not follow Shastra, but they have this Shraddha, a belief in what path they are in. Ye Shastra vidhimusrujya yajante arvartate shraddhayanvitaha tesham nishtatuka Krishna sattva maho rajastamaha. Is it sattva? Is it in goodness? Is it because of the passion? Or is it due to ignorance? Oh Krishna, what is the situation of one who does not follow the principles of scriptures, but acts according to his own or her own imagination? And that is Arjuna's question. And see Lord's answer. O Arjuna, Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Trividha Bhavati Shraddha Dehinam Sasvabhavaja Satviki Rajasi Chaiva Tamasi Cheti Tam Shrunom. According to the modes of nature acquired by the embodied soul, because this comes as our inherent nature. We are born as a package with these three things. And these three things are goodness, sattva, which is a revealing power, rajas, which is the projecting and reflecting and reactive power. Once again, sattva is revealing, reflecting power. Revealing, reflecting, introspective, and productive. Rajas is also productive, but at the same time, it's projecting, it is reacting, and it's reflecting. A reflex action. So not reflection. So reaction, we can say reactive. So it's reactive, it's projective, and it's productive as well. So tamas is the veiling, the covering, the ignorance aspect of it. So we all have in various permutations and combinations. Next one. Sattvanurupa sarvasya Shraddha bhavati bharata Shraddha mayoyam purusho yoyachhaddasa eva saha. We are all Shraddha mayas. Like that Maya is Gunamayi, we are Shraddha mayas. Shraddha maya. We are Gunamaya also because we are born with those gunas. And we are born with these three kinds of Shraddhas. Shraddha mayoyam purushaha. Shraddha mayaha. Endowed with Shraddha. And it is according to one's own nature. And that nature, there are two things, nature and nurture. The one which we are born with because of the vasanas, the collected dirt over a period of births and deaths. So for ages and ages, we have collected, pardon me, so we have collected the good, bad, and ugly in us. And that is in dormant form. And it is expressed in one way or the other, with or without our knowledge. So that is sattva, rajas, and tamas. We are endowed with these three. And we are all, another name for us, we are manujas. We are martyas. Manujas because we came from Manu. We are also called manavas. We came from Manu. Then we are also called naras. Nara means jiva. We are also called martyas because we are in mrityu prapancha, because we are born yadrishyam tannasyati. So whatever is born one day has to leave. So this is martya loka. So that's why we are martyas also. We are martyas. And we are also called Shraddha mayas. We are Shraddha mayoyam purushaha yoyat shraddhasa eva saha. Purusha, again, that doesn't mean that man, but Purusha, we have talked about a jiva in whose body. We are all dehis, because we have dehas. So dehi in us is a Purusha. Jivi in this jiva, dehi in this deha, kshetrajna in this kshetra, and Purusha in this pura are all the same as we talked. Next one. So Shraddha in our Upanishads, in our Vedas, Shraddha Devi. Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Shraddha Rupena Samsthita Namastasyai 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 Namo Namaha. So Shraddha Devi is in all of us. So I salute that Shraddha Devi who is in all bhutas. Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu, in the form of Shraddha, Shraddha Rupena Samsthita, so very well established. I salute that power which empowers everyone and everything. So Shraddham Pratar Havamahe, Shraddham Madhyandinam Pare, Shraddham Suryasya Nimruchi, so Shraddhe, Shraddha Payehama. So we salute in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening. So all the time we salute Shraddha. And we ask Shraddha, Priyam Shraddhe Dadataha, Priyam Shraddhe Didasataha, Priyam Bhojeshu Yajvasu Idam Ma Uditam Krudhi. O Goddess Shraddha, bestow pleasing and agreeable things on the charitable ones. And the one who wishes to be charitable, who wishes to be graceful. I pray you may bestow, I pray that you may bestow this pleasing and agreeable grace on those who perform rituals with reverence for enjoying the fruits thereof. So, and there are more also. This is called Shraddha Suktam. I just have taken these two verses. So Shraddha. And then with this Shraddha, Devas got what they wanted. With this Shraddha, the Gandharvas got what they wanted. With this Shraddha, we all can get what we want. Next one. And there are Sattvika, there are Rajasika, and then there are Tamasika worshippers. Yajante Sattvika Devan Yaksha Rakshamsi Rajasaha Pretan Bhutaganam Chanye Yajante Tamasajanaha. The people with the mode of goodness worship the gods and demigods. Devan bhavayata nena te deva bhavayantuvaha parasparam bhavayantaha yena shreyam avapsyata. So that yena shreyam avapnaya. So Brahmaji, after creating us, he also created yajna. In fact, sahayajna prajastristva purovacha prajapatihi anena prasavisyadhvam eshavostvista kamadhuk. So he created the world and us, and then the relation between us as to nurture each other. So the nature and us, and nurturing each other, respecting each other. So which we have studied in detail in the 3rd chapter. So with that, we have to be grateful to these mighty gods, mighty powers. And although the second one, it is looking like what you see in Kantara movie, but so that's not it, in fact. So these are Yaksha-Rakshas. So Kantara, if you look at, that is also a demigod who is the part of that Almighty. So Varahamurti or Vanadevata. Aranyane is another Devata like Shraddha Devi. Aranyane is Devata of Aranya. And Varaha is the one who actually, Varaha Rupa, if you worship Varaha Rupa, he bestows us the grains upon us. So Dhana, Dhanya, Sampada comes from Varaha Devata. So he's one of the Vishnu's forms. So here Yaksha and Rakshasas are those who have power but with selfish motive. Swami Chinmayananda says. So approaching, let's say, powerful politicians. So they are kind of yakshas and rakshasas in an ordinary sense. But there is also these kind of people who just want limited powers and they get limited powers. Then there are pretan, bhutaganan. So these are the Kshudra Devatas So there are Kshudra Devatas also for those who believe in. That is from Patala Bhairavi movie. You can see that there. So, but they also have some petty powers that can be attained. So in the beginning, we have talked about how these gunas can be affected. So there are mantras for each. There are mantras for these Pishacha mantras also. So there are mantras for yakshas. There are mantras for devatas, various devatas. Dhyanam also. Dhyanam, the Sattva Guna people do worship the gods and the demigods. The Rajasic people worship Kamini and Kanchana Adhikaris. Those who have power with WWW, the wine, woman, and those who have the power and who can ignite and incite the wars and all. So then the third one is in this Pishachas and Bhutas. So these are like three types of people. Next one, please. Oh, Arjuna, to talk about this Shraddha, there are so many aspects of Shraddha in each and every subject that we encounter, or every object we encounter, every subject we touch upon, or every object we encounter. And there's so many. And to go into the details, we shall divide these objects or the subjects of discussion into these three categories as tamasic, rajasic, and sattvic. What are they? Ahara, yajna, tapas, danam, and we will see dhruti, buddhi, sukham, and so on. And we'll see more of those. Karta, karma, and jnanam. All these are divided into three types. Aharastvapi sarvasya trividho bhavati priyah yajnastapastatha danam tesham bhedamimam shruno. Next one. Ahara. There are three types of ahara. And food is what makes us. We are what we eat. And we eat what we eat, that particular food, and what we are. So it is not only the food refines us, we also, according to our nature, choose certain foods influenced by the gunas. Sattvika ahara, rajasika ahara, and tamasika ahara. We have touched upon this in the previous sessions as well. Anup Shetty has given a great talk. The real Sattvika ahara, rajasika ahara, tamasika ahara starts with the earnings and going to the market and then running the errands and then buying the groceries. So that's where it starts actually. Ayus sattva bala rogya sukha priti vivardhana rasya snigdha sthira radya ahara sattvika priya. Foods in the mode of goodness increase the duration of life for the longevity. Ayuhu. Sattva, purity, purify one's existence. Bala, the physical strength. Arogya, health, diseaselessness. Sukha, happiness. Priti, satisfaction. Sthira, that's durable. And hridya, it is very pleasing. These are very palatable and very dear to Sattvika people. And Sattvika people choose this, and then when you eat this, it also fosters Sattvika nature in us. Katvam lalavana tishna tikshna ruksha vidahinaha. In fact, all this is one line. Katvam lalavana tishna tikshna ruksha vidahinaha ahara rajasasyeshta dukkha soka maya pradaha. Foods that are too bitter, katu, too sour, amla, salty, lavana, pungent, ushna. Actually pungent is tikshna. Ushna is hot, very hot. Ruksha is hard, very hard, dry. Vidahinaha, they cause so much of thirst after eating. And these are liked by Rajasic people. And if you eat this, the Rajasic nature is fostered more, flourished more. And they are dukkha, shoka, amaya pradaha. Dukkha, pain. Soka, distress. Amaya, disease. Anamaya means diseaselessness, arogya. So amaya. So they give rise to these three. And we can easily relate to these sodas, Coke and hot stuff and whatnot. Then the third kind is Yata Yamam Gatarasam Puti Pariyusitam Chayatam Uchistam Apicha Medhyam Bhojanam Tamasa Priyam. The food cooked for more than 3 hours. Yama means a period of 3 hours. So 4 yamas make 12 hours. 8 yamas make 1 day. So if it is cooked and left over for 3 hours before being eaten, and gata rasam, the essence is gone from that food, stale, puti, putrid, pari ushitam, somebody already touched it. Ushitam, pari ushitam. No, sorry, pari ushitam is ushitam, kept for some time. Pari ushitam. So when it's kept for some time, it starts decomposing. Then uchistam. Uchistam is somebody already tasted and then leftovers, the leftovers. Because if you see, if you take a bite or if you just touch with your hand or mouth, there's so many bacteria who enter into that food and contaminate that. So amedhyam, the one which you don't feel like offering it to your Ishta Devata. So that bhojanam is tamasa priyam. And you can see here, there is no mention of vegetarian or non-vegetarian. But you can see that non-vegetarian kind of food falls into the second category, as you can see. So let's not go into the details of this. Maybe we could take up in questions and answer a discussion session about this. So we talk about the quantity. We talk about the quality. The quantity was talked upon was discussed in 6th chapter. How Yukta hara viharasya, yukta chestasya karmasu, yukta swapnava bodhasya, yogo bhavati dukkha. So yukta hara, moderation in everything. Moderation is the key of life. Moderation is mantra of adoration. So there it was taught. And then offering it to your Ishta Devata. We talked about that also. And we have talked about as the mantra, the digestive fire in us, aham vaishwanaro bhutva praninam deham ashritaha pranapana samayuktaha pachamyannam chaturvidham. So we salute that digestive power, and that purifies the food we are going to eat. Then seeing everything as divine, the food maker, the food server, the food eater, and the food itself, entire thing as Brahmarpanam, Brahmahavihi, Brahmagno, Brahmanahutam, Brahmaivatena Gantavyam, Brahmakarma Samadhina. So much about food, and food is what we are. So we are Annamayas also. We are Annamaya. This Annamaya Deham is Annamaya. So that has been taught, and here are just few examples. So we are what we eat, and we are what we think. Next one. Annam nanindhyat, because it is Annam Parabrahma Swarupam. So do not, these are the things which we should inculcate and also teach the kids and others. So Annam nanindhyat. So never abuse the food. Tadvratam. So it is a rule. It is a worship. So Annam Parabrahma Swarupam. Annam Bahukurvita. So just, produce more food and make more food available. So that is how it is Upanishadic mantra. Next. Then Yajna. We have talked so much about Yajna in the 3rd and 4th chapters. So not going into the details for lack of time. So Aphala Kangsha Bhiriyajna Vidhidrastoya Ijyate Yastavyame Veti Manaha Samadhaya Sa Satvikaha. So of the sacrifices, the sacrifice in goodness mode is doing something. So yajna means, we have talked about, yajna is any work done collectively, putting your full effort for the good of the world, and taking the results as prasada and placing the results at the feet of the higher consciousness, supreme consciousness. So that is yajna. So that yajna is done with no phala, no expectations, because you are doing it so sincerely, and it is so common to see when you do it sincerely with full effort for the cooperation, for the good of the world, it is always, almost always successful. So, and it is done as a duty and responsibility. In fact, Dharmaraja says to Draupadi, when Draupadi asks, you've been doing so many things, all these rituals, so what did you get out of it in Aranyavasa? And then Dharmaraja says, I did it, and then I do it, and I will do it in future, not with any expectation, because they have to be done. So for that reason, I do it. So estavyam, kartavyam, datavyam. So it has to be done. So without any expectations. But when you are very selfish, and there is a selfish motive, there is this secondary agenda behind it, abhisandhayatu phalam, and then there is also dambha, ostentation. So this ostentatiously done work just to show off, that then that yajna is called rajasic yajna. Abhisandhayatu phalam dambharthamapi chaivayat ijyate bharata shrestha tam yajnam vidhi sa rajasam. So vidhi means no. Okay. O Bharata Shrestha. Vidhihinam asrishtanam mantrahinam adakshinam shraddha virahitam yajnam tamasam parichakshate. No one follows the rules of the sacrifice. No injunctions as described in the Shastras are followed. And there is no sharing with others when you are doing this or when the results are obtained. And there is no aspect of, or no reverence, mantrahinam, adakshinam. So there is no sharing, there is no caring, and there is no offering. So no caring, no sharing, and no offering. So that is tamasic yajna. Next. And there's so many yajnas which have been talked in the past. Evam bahuvidha yajna vitata brahmano mukhe. Then this is another beautiful yajna. This is tapas. So tapas, one definition of tapas is an intense concentration with focus of mind on a particular thing until it is achieved. That's one definition. The other definition is indriyanam manasascha aikagram tapa uchyate. Bringing all the senses and mind in one line is also called tapa. Tapa is scorching. Scorching is, Swami Bodhananda defines this as minimizing your needs. Minimizing, that is tapas, which is very much needed. See, very simple way he has put it in, minimizing the, I mean, not miserly. So minimizing our needs. So there are three kinds. Sharirika, vachika, and manasika. The physical, the vocal, and the mental. Deva dvija guru prajna pujanam saucham arjavam brahmacharya mahimsa cha sariram tapa uchyate. Respecting, revering devas, Jyotanath, those who have this special power light, they are devas, Jyotanath iti deva. Dvija, the one who is born twice. That means the one who is realized when we are born physically and when we are born with enlightenment, with some knowledge and wisdom. So that's Dvija. Guru, we talked about Guru, Kukaraha, Dakaraha, Rukaraha, and Nirodhaka, the one who removes our ignorance. Prajna, Jna means knower. Prajna means Prakristena, the one who knows it in a very special way that he can share it and show it to the world. So worshipping them, respecting them, revering them. Then Shaucham. So Anta Shaucham, Bakhya Shaucham. Taking care of yourself, your body, like Rabindranath Tagore. I mean, not like Mahatma Gandhi. I mean, Mahatma Gandhi took care of his body, but Rabindranath Tagore also took care of it, and he considered it as Alayam Deho, Devalaya Prokta. That's why he was so very well dressed, as you could see Rabindranath Tagore. When somebody asked, so the difference between Gandhiji and Tagore, so their photos, if you see, so drastic. So, but here, Shaucham, Antashuchi, both have that. Bahya Shaucham, both have that. Arjavam, the straightforwardness. Rujutvam, Trikarana Shuddhi. Brahmacharyam, so two meanings. Celibacy, and the other one is reveling in that Brahman. Ahimsa, physical, vocal, mental, non-violence. This is called Sharirika Tapas. Then what is Vachika Tapas? Anudvegakaram Vakyam Satyam Priyahitam Chayatam Swadhyaya Abhyasanam Chaiva Vangmayam Tapa Uchyate. That speech, which is not Udvegakaram, so it doesn't perturb others and it doesn't perspire himself or herself. So the one which does not cause perturbation or disturbance or perspiration in oneself and also to others. That's that word, that speech. Satyam. Satyam we talked about. Sarva Bhuta Hita Bhashanam. Bhuta Hita Bhashanam is Satyam. Then Priyam and Hitam. So that which is said in a nicer way and also a very useful way, and also studying one's own shakha of Vedas, so Veda shakha, or studying about self, one's own, like it's personality development, or Swa-adhyayanam, studying about the self. So this Swadhyaya, Abhyasanam and practice. So this is Vangmayam Tapa Uchyate. In Taittiriya Upanishad we see Swadhyaya Pravachanabhyam Na Pramaditavyam. Do not forget to study, learn and share. So Anudvegakaram Vakyam Satyam Priyahitam Chayatta. We talked about this Hita Bhashanam, Mita Bhashanam, Smita Bhashanam, Aruta Bhashanam. I'll repeat again. Hita Bhashanam, what is good. Mita Bhashanam, talking less. What is needed. Talking what is needed in a succinct way. So Mita Bhashanam. Smita Bhashanam with a cheerfulness, with smile on the face. And Aruta Bhashanam, what is right, Satyam. So Sarva Bhuta Hitam. So these are all the characteristics of Rama, as we have seen. So Satyam Bruyat, Priyam Bruyat, Na Bruyat, Satyam Apriyam. So Rutam cha Nanrutam, Priyam cha Nanrutam Bruyat. So the lie, even if it is pleasing, don't say it. Just to please, don't say a lie. Then what is Manasika Tapas? Mana Prasada Saumyatvam Maunamatma Vinigraha Bhava Samsuddhirityetat Tapo Manasa Muchyate. The serenity, the simplicity, and the self-control, the purity of thought. These are all the austerities of the mind. Mana Prasadam. So the mind is, all the thoughts are subdued. Mind is like that lake where the fog is gone, the waves are settled, and the dirt is still. So the dirt is settled, the waves are still, the water is still without waves. Once again, the dirt is settled, the water is still without waves, and the fog is dispelled. So that lake, that is Manaprasada. Saumyatvam, so that gentleness, maunam, silence when it's needed, atma vinigraha, self-control, bhava samsuddhi, the purity in thought. So that's manasika tapas. Next one. And these are, again, if you really see, they're sattvika, rajasika and tamasika. Sattvika, that which is done with pure intention. Rajasika, sometimes enacting this or showing off this. Deva Dvija Guru Pragya Pujanam. We see so many times, so many places where people take pictures saluting the teachers and so on. So, but that should be deep within one's own heart. So we talked about this, but I shall read very fast. So speech is silver, silence is golden. Save gold and silver, become rich and clever. Articulation is an art. Put heart and mind in words. Let words flow like a stream, while body and mind stays calm. Know when to speak, what to speak, how much to speak, and when to stop. Succinct and simple, sweet and short, clear and crisp, firm and lukewarm. Learn from scripture, speak with a rapture, exhibit the gentle nature, express with nice gesture. Because 70% of what we speak is conveyed through our body language, through our face, through our eyes. Exhibit the gentle nature, express with a nice gesture, optimize the narration with the right intonation. Intonation is also important. Because you may say, hey, stupid, so you may say that stupid in a very friendly and very loving way, and then you can say stupid in a way what exactly it means. With no repetition or irritation. Give right pauses in an oration. Say what is right. Say it with sweet note. Do not utter a bitter truth. Say not a lie to gain faith. Next one. So this also I have touched upon in the past. So speech is silver, silence is golden. It is a language of sages. It is a language in hermitages, the language of the enlightened, language of the quietened mind, maunam, silence, silence. It is a world beyond the word. It is a silence. The abode of the Lord is highness. Silence is a path to eternity. Silence is a secret of divinity. Silence is a license to reach the goal. Silence is a guidance in search of soul. To express the divinity, must we break the silence. To experience the divinity, must we seek the silence. To interact with the world outside, most of us break silence. To enter the world of Lord inside, must we seek silence. As a touch of nap between two thought waves, as a bit of gap between two feist ideas, as a spark of lull between two thundering words, as a stream of calmness in the flow of brain waves, silence exists. Like that Nari, Nari, Nadumam Murari, Anganam, Anganam, Antare, Madhava. So there is Gopika, and in between Madhava. So Gopika and Gopika is the expression of our speech and thought. And the Lord in between is that silence, Shri Krishna. The Lord moves forth in our words. He lives in between the words. The Lord drives our thoughts and he lives between our thoughts. It's divine, serene, golden, and it's heaven. It is the essence. It is the elegance, a brilliance, and eternal bliss. Maunam chaivasmi guhyanam. That's what Maunam. We talked about yajna. Next one. Next one. There are so many ornaments that adorn us and others, but there is one ornament that is Vak Bhushanam Bhushanam. Keyurani na bhushayanti purusham nahara chandrojvala na snanam na vilepanam na kusumam na alankruta murdhacha vanyeka samalankaroti purusham ya samskruta dharyate kshiyante khalu bhushanani satatam Vak Bhushanam Bhushanam. So that the beauty is added to a person with a smile on the face and with the right speech and the right silence when it's needed. Next one, please. Then, this tapas, as we talked about, is of three kinds. The Sharirika times 3, Manasika times 3, Vachika times 3. And that's what is said in these 3 verses. Shraddhaya paraya taptam tapastat trividham naraihi aphalakangsha bhiryuktai satvikam parichakshate. So all these which are done without any selfish motive and without any ostentation. So that is Sattvika tapas. Satkaramana pujartham tapodam bhena chaivayat kriyate tadiha proktam rajasam chalam adhrubam. The one which is futile, frugal, and the one which is not stable, labile. And when it is done for a need with a secondary gain, a personal benefit. So all these satkara, mana, pujartham, for the sake of gaining popularity, respect, honor. So all these selfish motives is rajasic. But they're done, this tapas is done by some for the destruction of the world. We have seen so many villains in the Puranas, in the modern world. Muda grahe natmanayat pidaya kriyate tapa parasya utsadanartham. We have seen so many Hitlers, Osamas. We have seen so many other destroyers of the world. Not only politicians, but all the terrorists, but also others who are ruining the world, who have ruined the world. Moda grahena. So that is tamasika tapas. Next one, please. If you see some examples, Vishwamitra, he has done this tapas in Ramayana, Rama and Satananda. So that night before Sitarama Kalyanam happens, Vishwamitra takes Rama to Janaka's palace, and Satananda, Janaka's minister, he talks about Vishwamitra and says that Eshaha Vigrahavan Tapaha is the embodiment of tapas. Because if you look at Vishwamitra, he was a Kshatriya and he became Brahmin after seeing Vasishtha Maharshi. He said, Bahubalam Dik Balam, Balam Brahmana Balam. So the Kshatriya Balam is Dik. This is not the real power, and that Brahmana Balam. So then with this tapas, he did it for thousands of years, Shatasahasra. And he conquered 3. The first one he conquered, we have seen that in the 16th chapter. Trividham narakasyedam dwaram nasanam atmanaha kama krodhastatha lobaha. So kama, the first one he conquered after Menaka, after experience with Menaka. Then Krodha, Rambha comes next. So he did not fall a prey for Rambha's beauty. He actually got angry and cursed her to become stone. So that's Krodha. Then he realized, then again, so Varsha Shata Sahasrani. So then he does tapas again. And then Lobha. He wanted that Kamadhenu from Sabala, from Vasishtha Maharshi. He wanted to become Brahmarshi like Vasishtha Maharshi. So he gets all his Rajarshi, he gets Maharshi, he gets Devarshi, but he was not happy. So then he had that Lobha where he wanted all, I want that. So seeing and enjoying something is different, but I want this. So that is Lobha. And it should be mine and mine only. So he surpassed that, he conquered that. So that's why he's Vigrahavan Tapaha. Then Bhagirath in the same way. Swami Ranganathan says, in the modern world, Thomas Edison, Graham Bell, these are all real tapasvis, that they have done so much of tapas for the good of the mankind. Next one, please. Charity. So Dhanam also. Yajñas tapas tada dhanam tesham bhedamimam shrunu. So datavyamiti yad dhanam deyate anupakarine deshe kale cha patre cha tad dhanam satvikam srutam. That gift which is given out of duty, datavyamiti, at the proper place, at the proper time, and that proper person, because deshe kale patre, the one who deserves, at the right place, at the right time. That is Satvika Dana. But if it is done with expecting something back, phalam uddishya, or pratyupakarena, so yettu pratyupakarartham phalam uddishya va punaha diyate cha pariklishtam, it's given with a lot of difficulty and as a show off, that is Rajasam. Then the one which is given adesha kale yaddanam apatrebhyascha deyate asatkrutam avajñatam tattamasamudahritam. That charity which is done at improper place to an unrightful person, an unworthy person, without respect and with a lot of contempt, that is called tamasik. Next one. Khalil Gibran, he writes so well about this charity. It is well to give when asked, but it is better to give unasked, through understanding. And to the open-handed, the search for one who shall receive is a joy greater than giving. So the receiver is happy, the giver is happy, and the giving itself makes the person both receiving and giving happy and happier. And is there aught you would withhold? All you have shall someday be given. Therefore, give now, that the season of giving may be yours and not your inheritors. Bhartrihari also says the same thing. Danam bhogo nashaha tisro gatayo bhavanti vittasya. There are only three destinations or three endpoints for the wealth. Either you give or you enjoy, otherwise it will be destroyed. So, yona dadati, who doesn't give, yona bhunkte, who doesn't enjoy, tasya tritiya gatir bhavati. So that will be lost one day. Next one. Swami Dayananda says that you have not given until it hurts you. That is real giving. And there are so many givers. And in Puranas, we have Karna, Shibi, and so on. And in modern world, we see so many. And Vivekananda says, the giver should feel at the end of giving that I should have given more. The receiver should feel that he has given me more than what I deserve. That is real charity. The receiver should feel that, oh boy, I have taken more than what I deserve or what I needed. And the giver should feel, maybe I should have given some more. And the chapter is concluded with these great three words, Om, Tatta, Satta. These are the most powerful words in our Shastras in Sanatana Dharma. And I always say there are three other words in modern world which are equally powerful. That is saying thank you, sorry, and please. So these are, but they are no way comparable to these, but I just wanted to mention those, how useful they are in the modern world. But this Om Tat Sat. So Om iti idagam sarvam. Om is everything. In Mandukya Upanishad, we see this tasya upavakyanam bhutam bhavat bhavishyaditi. So what happened, what has become, what is becoming, and what will become. All this is Om. And that yachanyatrikalatitam, that which is beyond this world of time, that also is Om. Tadapi Omkara eva. So that is Om. And Tat and Sat are equally powerful words. So Om Tat Saditi Nirdeshaha Brahmanas Trividha Smrutaha. So that Brahman, who is Nirguna and Nirakara, came in the form of Shabda and Rupa and Nama. So three, Shabda, Nama, Rupa. So Shabda Brahma, this is Shabda Brahma. Omkara is the first manifestation in the form of Shabda, vibration of that Brahman. Then Swami Dayananda once again says that if God has to be given a name, Om is his name. Om is his name. And that Brahman is known in three different ways as Om, Tatta, Satta. With this, all the knowers worship that Brahman. Om Tassaditi Nirdeshaha Brahmanas Trividha Smrutaha Brahmanastena Vedascha Yajñascha Vihita Pura. Next one. So Om, I have read these poems in the past. I'll just very briefly say the first one. The name of the nameless, the form of the formless, the sound of the silence pervading all this universe. The sound that is virtuous, harmonious, precious, and auspicious. The sound which is self-illumining, inspiring, energizing, and enlightening. The root of our meditation, the route of our meditation, the seat of our meditation, and the heart of our meditation. Om is a means to reach the goal, and it is the goal also. And Oma is a representation of the creation, sustenance, and dissolution, omnipresence, omnipotency and omniscience. And it is past, present, and future. It is our wakefulness, dream, and the deep sleep. So it has so much of meaning. Sarve Veda Yat Padam Amananti, the sound which all Vedas propound, the sound which all austerities resound. Tapamsi Sarvana Yad Vadanti, the sound which all ascetics expound, and all the great saints talked about this. That sound that is primordial and profound, that is Om. Next one, please. Then, therefore, Tasmad Omiti Udahritya Yajna Dana Tapakriyaha Pravartante Vidhanoktaha Satatam Brahmavadinam. So all these great knowers, they perform all the things they do saying Om. Swami Dayananda, last time when I met him, all he said was, when I entered, he said Om. And while I was talking, in between, he was saying Om. And when I was leaving, he was saying Om. Taditi anabhisandhaya phalam yajna tapakriyaha danakriyascha vividaha kriyante mokshakangshabihi. So that tat also, tat, that Brahman is called tat. So we don't know what to call that. So we also can call it tat. Then sat. So sadbhave sadhubhave. Sad iti etat prayujyate. Prashaste karmani tadha satchabda partha yujyate. So in yajnas, in tapas, and then what is standard? What is going to stay forever? So that is sat. So sat is ever existent. Next one. So this sat is Satpurushas we call, because the essence of one which is good for the world, that is Sat. The Trikala Abhaditam is Sat, the one which doesn't change in 3 times, past, present, and future is Sat, ever existent is Sat. And that Sat gives us that Nisangatva, Nirmohatva, Nischalatatva, and Jivan. Next one, please. So if we don't have any Shraddha, if we do not respect what this Shraddha is, and if we do not know what this means, and if we do not ascend from Tamasic Shraddha to Rajasic Shraddha to Sattvika Shraddha, we do not achieve anything, we do not achieve anything either here or hereafter. Ashraddhaya hutam dattam tapastaptam kriyam chayat asat iti uchyate partha nacha tat pretya na iha. Pretya means hereafter, iha means here. So this concludes the chapter Shraddhatraya Vibhaga Yogaha. Shraddhatraya Vibhaga Yogaha. Sarvam Shri Krishna Arpanamastu.
Shall I do Gita Mahatmam, Sureshji? अथ गीता महात्म्यं गीता शास्त्रमिदं पुण्यं यः पठेत् प्रयतः पुमान् विष्णो पदमवाप्नोति भयशोकादिवर्जितः गीताध्ययनशीलस्य प्राणायामपरस्य च नैव सन्ति हि पापानि पूर्वजन्मकृतानि च मलनिर्मोचनं पुंसां जलस्नानं दिने दिने सकृद्गीताम्भसि स्नानं संसारमलनाशनं गीतासु गीता कर्तव्या किमन्यै शास्त्रविस्तरै या स्वयं पद्मनाभस्य मुखपद्माद्विनिसृता भारतामृत सर्वस्वं विष्णोर्वक्त्राद्विनिसृतं गीता गङ्गोदकं पीत्वा पुनर्जन्म न विद्यते सर्वोपनिषदो गावो दुग्धा गोपालनन्दनः पार्थो वत्सः सुधीर्भोक्ता दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत् एकं शास्त्रं देवकी पुत्र गीतं एको देव देवकी पुत्र एव एको मन्त्रस्तस्य नामानि यानि कर्माप्येकं तस्य देवस्य सेवा कायेन वाचा मनसेन्द्रियैर्वा बुद्ध्यात्मना वात् प्रकृते स्वभावात् करोमि यद्यत् सकलं परस्मै नारायणायेति न समर्पयामि श्रीमन्नारायणायेति समर्पयामि.
Sureshji.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. Closing contemplation. The divine sound, Om, heard during creation and contemplation, the beginning, middle, and end of scriptures. Tat is that supreme, inconceivable, beyond the Trinity, known well to the yogis. Sat is the innocence in the child or a playful fawn, the true goodness in every heart and good deed. Om Tat Sat, reverberating through the 9 gates of the liberated souls, with faith in their heart from ancient times to modern times. Om Tat Sat.